Hi guys, I am going to be doing the first video with programming using the orange handheld control. I know my last video got a little bit off subject because I went from going to do this program, to actually end up talking about the various different ways to program them. And I forgot to mention in that video, if you end up getting a communication pod, it works with the same software, I believe, that the X Stick works with. So you just download the software like you would the X Stick off of RealityWorks website, and you program it the exact same way. It's just, instead of a little USB that you stick almost similar to I can't even think of what they're called. Like data stick. USB stick. I don't know. Things like this. You know. You plug it into your USB port and it has memory in it. You just plug it in. It's basically plug it in and go. It works the exact same way. It's just a little more bulky. Just like I know with their charging pods, I have an old style charging pod where you have the plug coming from the wall going into the transformer part, which then plugs into the pod, and then you plug the pod into the dolls. The new one basically is just one streamlined thing. There's no pod. It's just straight from the spot where there's like the transformer, or I don't know what they're called. You know, like on computers, the little box that goes between the plug and your computer or laptop. But from there, instead of going into another cable going into the pod and the pod going to the dolls, they actually have 5 strings that come out and go straight to the dolls from there. So they have been changing their technology as time goes on, but it all still works the same. So to get started, hopefully have this backlit so that you guys can see that. I put batteries in it already. There's a little screw down here. It takes 4 AA batteries. So I'm going to turn it on. And you've got prepare, finish, daycare, baby utilities, and control unit. The control unit is where you set the clock, the self-test. There is a little printer that they used to make that you could touch this to the printer, and the printer, it would print almost like a little receipt type size paper, would come out and print all the information from the baby simulation. There's about and the language. So this is all within the software. I'm not going to go into all that just because it hasn't been on for a while, so I know like the clock's off, the dates are off, and everything like that. As well as it hasn't had batteries in it, so I believe it also always resets. Oh, I guess it doesn't always reset. It has the memory. The last time I used this was November 18th, 2016. So I apparently set the clock on that date. And so its memory is of the last time the clock was set, because I took the batteries out and I don't keep batteries in it at all times. That's just to prevent the corrosion. So if I was going to say prepare to get a simulation ready for Danny, and I know it's going to say Dusty because I haven't changed it yet. So I'd click on prepare. Here it has start stop time, which I would have from Friday 11 a.m. to Tuesday at 8 p.m. Care level hard. So like, okay, I'll start out here, the time. I can go in here and change the time. So if I want it from Thursday at say I'm meeting some friends at 1 o'clock and I want baby to start at 1 o'clock on Thursday, and I know we'll probably be leaving the mall, I'm going to go back to Thursday. We're probably leaving, the mall closes at 8, but we'll probably be leaving at 7. And I really don't want to be driving with baby home. So I would set it for 10 a.m. or 1. Instead of meeting them, I'm meeting them at about 9:30. So I want to have baby on while we're out and about. And we're going to have a fun day at the mall or whatever. So I'm going to set baby for 10 a.m. which should be about half hour after we meet. And this unit goes by hour. It doesn't, like on the X stick, I can program by half hour. I think I can actually program by 15 minutes. This one you can't, unless you change the clock on the doll. So, say for instance you want the doll to start at 8:30, but you can only put like 8 o'clock here since you can't do the half hour. You can actually change the clock so that the clock is a half hour behind. So then if you wanted it to start at 8, or half hour behind or half hour ahead. So if you wanted it to start at 8:30 from real time, you can change the clock so that it's saying that it's actually 9 o'clock, and then have it set, or you can configure the times. But you just go through it that way, and then it'll go back, and it has changed it from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. And here is where you can change the settings of the baby. So you can do care level hard. So we've got care level easy up here, medium, and hard. When you set these through this way, it'll just randomly pick within the care levels. There is what is it? There is a chart that would show what each care level is, and like approximately, it's got the 24-hour chart. I have one, but I don't know where it's at currently. And I think Crystal has it on the website. I know it's for sure in the Baby Think It Over group. But this chart has, let's see if I can find it quick. It's hard to describe the chart unless you've seen the chart. It has, I know we had it in here. Here we go, program schedule. I'll set this down for a second and show you guys on the computer. This is the program schedule table. You can't really read it because it's so tiny, but it'll have like 1, 2, it'll say if it's a boy or a girl, how old the baby is, and it'll show what kind of care. It's not saying, it'll show that between certain hours it'll require certain cares. It's not saying what it's going to need, but it'll just do it that way. And then this is, it starts up at the top is the hard, and it goes down to easy as baby gets older. So like down here, this is equivalent to 82-day old baby girl. It also goes if it's breastfeeding or bottle feeding, because breastfed babies, in my experience, seem to eat more and eat less at a time than bottle-fed babies. But it'll, yeah, in the chart, if you pull up the full chart, I didn't download it. I just pulled up the quick view of it. But yeah, that's the chart. So if you're programming with this, it would be nice to have the chart. You don't need the chart, but it's nice to have it because these will just randomly program, like with the lower ones, medium ones kind of the middle of the chart, and the hard is at the top of the chart. Or you can go into this setting, which is custom, and you can choose which ones you want. So on day 1, you want to have a hard day. So then you'd go to schedule 1. Day 2, you know, you're going to be, if you're running a multi-day stimulation, you know that you're going to be out and about more often. So you kind of want an easy schedule for yourself. So you want to go up to 15. 15 is the easiest schedule. Baby doesn't require, I mean, there's only a few hours where baby is going to require a lot of care, but otherwise, baby goes quiet for quite a few hours. So, I mean, this just, you can custom program as well. Or you can just pick medium or hard. Once again, you know, you're going out with your friends and you want to have fun with this. So you want it on a hard schedule because you want baby to be more interactive while you're gone. On here, you can also, you can add in quiet times. This is, on the X stick, you can add in quiet times as well. Those are preset. So, say for instance, okay, we're out with my friends. And I think we had it on Thursday. We're out with the friends and, you know, we're going to have supper. And I really don't want to tend to baby while we're eating supper. We plan to eat supper at about 5. So I'm going to put in here that at 5 p.m. I want baby to be quiet for, not 12 hours, for 1 hour. So that we can eat without having to tend to the baby. So we've got 1 quiet time set. You can set up to 3. So that would just be kind of like I said. Or I know that there's another YouTube channel who I believe she uses this control. She will set basically a delay. Or not a delay. I believe she's kind of gauged about times when she programs her dolls. So that she knows approximately when she's going to leave, but she wants to continue when she gets home. And she knows, she'll program in like an hour quiet time while she's driving. And then, or you can clear them all. But, so we've got the quiet time. So I'm going to hit the back button. So we've got 1 quiet time for an hour. And then you go down to here and you hit start data transfer. And he's going to search. Let's see. And you'll hear that chime. He's not going to activate at all until the quiet time. And I even think, let's do it. Yeah, he's not on at all. Because if he was completely on, and he would be sleeping. He will not turn on until that time. And so that's just kind of going through how to program the baby. Oh, I did change it. Why in the heck does it say Dusty over on that one? I'll have to check that. And it'll show on here that he's going to start at 10 a.m. on Thursday. He's going to end at 7 p.m. on Thursday. He's on a hard schedule. There is the 1 hour, the hard schedule. It shows how his batteries are and that there's going to be 1 hour of quiet time. So that is, he's programmed. He's ready to go. At that time, he will start. Now, to end the simulation, you go into Finish. And there is Get Data, End Simulation, View Report, Print All New. Because typically teachers, when they use this one, some teachers actually would just use the same schedule and just go right down the row for the babies. There may be a variance about like the quiet times, because I know in school, my teacher, when they had the RealCare, original RealCares, you could do that as well. No, wait, you couldn't program the quiet times. I had talked to her after they got the RealCare 2s, so she had this control. And she said that like if a student has to go to work, they have the baby, they have to work, they actually have to bring in their work schedule to prove that they will be working between this time or this time, or if they have like football practice or something like that. Because it's not always, people aren't always available, have somebody available to babysit their doll when you're in the school. So the teacher would program the quiet times for doing the practice, during work, whatever. But during the quiet times, if baby is roughhoused or mishandled, that will register. Baby is still active, it just won't request care. So anyways, I am going to go into End Simulation because we're at the mall. I brought the handheld with. It's 4 o'clock, and you know what? He has been really hard, and I just want to enjoy my time with my friends. So I'm going to end simulation. So you hit End Simulation. Yeah, man. Yeah, there we go. And it says that baby found, Danny, and then it has 118 or 11/18, so that's the date, and it has American Indian male, end stimulation, data retrieved. So we go back. Sometimes it won't retrieve the data right away. So you have to go into get data. Or say, for instance, it only will show so many reports and there's a baby that hasn't been used again. You can only pull the data off of it if you haven't done another simulation. But say, for instance, I think it only holds like so many simulations in the memory of here. So if I have a baby that I forgot to grab the data off of it, if I haven't reprogrammed it, I can still grab it, and you can get that from get data. Then we go into here. Okay, where was it? View report would be the one that you wanted to look at if you wanted to see how you did. Oh, there it is at the bottom. So it's showing all the new ones, and I used to have a Japanese boy RealCare 2+. His name was Sora, and so like here's when he was on. He wasn't on that. I'm trying to find one that actually the doll was on. No, that one isn't. Is this one? I know there was quite a few times that I had to program that doll because I was sending it. Okay, here we go. Here's a baby that was just on the control from before. This one is showing proper care 100%, missed care 0, mishandled 0. So we'll go into here. And under here it'll show, oh, this one doesn't even really, has parent ID 0, babysitter 0, daycare 0. So I don't know why. Oh, well, the ID should have worked because it has burp 1. So when that doll was on, it needed to be burped once. And it got that. Is there any more in here? This is still set for... There's still stuff in here from when it was the previous owner, so... Alright, here's one, what it'll show like if there was a missed care. It has that there was a missed feeding on this baby. So, proper care 0, missed care 1. And it was, this baby was on for a total of 40 minutes. So, I mean, you have to keep going into different things with the control. The positive thing about, one of the pluses about having the control versus the X stick is with the control, I can throw this in a bag easier, because with the X stick you have to carry around a laptop. Where I have my little 2-pound laptop that has my software on it. I have my little 2-pound laptop that has the software on it. I can throw it in a diaper bag, but if the battery's not charged and I don't have the cables with, and it weighs a little bit more than the handheld. The handheld maybe weighs a pound. Plus, the handheld I can just quickly turn on, where this I have to wait for the computer to boot up and program to boot up and everything like that. So there is some positives to this. Personally, I find it easier to program a baby through the X stick. I haven't really tried it yet, which I want to at some point, is program a baby with the X stick and then try to turn it off with the control and see what happens, or vice versa. So that may be a different video, but this is how you go ahead and program it. The next video I am going to show, oh, I turned it off. I will show how to go into, oh, and I didn't show this one. While baby is on, you can do daycare on, daycare off. That is, say for instance, baby is on, and like the day you're having the day with the friends, and at 1 o'clock you guys decide you want to have lunch, but you don't want to fuss with baby. You forgot to program a quiet time during that time because you didn't know when you were going to have lunch. You can actually go into the daycare and you can go daycare on, and then it'll locate baby, although I don't know if he'll chime because he's turned off. Oh, I guess he did. So it's showing daycare is on for him. I can go in. Now, we sat, we ate, we had fun, we're done eating. I would like him to start up again. So I can go in and now daycare is off. That's the other plus about the handheld is you can turn daycare on, daycare off. You cannot program the 3s with this. Only the 2, 2 plus, and the original RealCare can be programmed with this. That's where I've been hesitating getting a RealCare 3 because I personally like the handheld since it's more compact and quicker, because there are times I've taken babies out with my kids and I didn't have them on and I was like, you know, this would have been a fun time to turn the baby on. Or there are times that you have the baby out and you can use the emergency stop, but you can't pick up from where you were. So say for instance, I was out with my kids, we were at the mall, baby was requesting a lot of care and I was having some problems with my daughter. She wasn't listening, whatever. I can turn, on a RealCare 3, I could do the emergency stop, but that ends the program. I couldn't pick up after I've done disciplining my daughter, where with like, be it 15 minutes or whatever. With this, I could go into daycare mode. I could put it on baby, and then while I dealt with my daughter, when I was done, I could take it off. So those are a few positives with that. The next video we will go into baby utilities and I will show you how to run the diagnostic troubleshooting test like I did before. Running the troubleshooting test to me is very important when you get a baby because that lets you know if the electronics in the doll is working. So I hope you enjoyed this video and I will see everyone later. Bye!